Conformity. Psychologists define this as the disposition to behave like others do, especially like those of a specific social group such as one's peers. When we hear this word in the definition, we often think of drastic examples such as dictatorships and fictional dystopian novels. But conformity can be seen in everyday life, even when society may not realize it. Conformity is seen majorly in clothing styles as people follow models or brands that are perceived as trendy. It can also be seen in hobbies and interests. For example, everyone has recently hopped on the TikTok train, eager to go viral or just be able to share and relate over funny content with their friends. But conformity can even be seen at the most basic level in greetings or waiting in line. If these common tendencies are neglected, people are often judged or viewed as outsiders. Two texts that highlight conformity are The Lottery, a short story by Shirley Jackson, and the movie The Giver. The lottery is about a small town that participates in a lottery every year, where a black dot on the winning ticket actually indicates that they are the ones to be stoned to death. A sense of community is created through this lottery tradition that everyone willingly and blindly carries on. It is important that each family member participates to keep this community alive. The older generations present at this event are the most adamant about keeping the lottery, believing that it is tradition and what keeps their town upright citizens. They claim that without it, they'd all be eating stewed chickweed and acorns, or in other words, digressing as a society. Everyone genuinely agrees with this conformity mindset. It was spoken frequently to the villagers about making a new box, but no one liked to upset even as much as tradition as was represented as the black box. Although no one seems to know exactly why they uphold this tradition, it is portrayed that this conformity is the backbone of their society. The Giver depicts a futuristic society in which everyone is forced to be equal. There are no emotions, competitions, individuality, or even colors. The theme of the novel is that conformity is the key to contentment. No one remembers a time before this, except one man and the boy he transfers these memories to. Everything about The Giver revolves around conformity. The whole movie is monochrome to begin with. Everyone only wears and sees gray. They take pills to suppress emotions, and no one has the opportunity to excel in any area of expertise. Basically, everyone is placed on the same playing field. One boy, Jonas, begins to challenge what the society stands for, that conformity is essential in creating equality amongst all, which is the only way to ensure happiness in this dystopian world.
And people have the freedom to choose wrong.
The two pieces share a similar mood. In both works, the characters are human with families and friends, so they are relatable to the audience. People can see themselves in the characters. Through this relatability, the friendly, upbeat moods make conformity seem like the peaceful and perfect choice. In The Lottery, everyone seems so supportive and close with others when the lottery begins. The children arrive first, gathering together quietly before they broke into boisterous play. Soon the adults file in and inquire about each other's families as they greeted one another and exchanged bits of gossip. The way they interact with one another and their dialogue creates an inviting community that any reader would understandably want to join. A similar mood is created in The Giver. Everyone is taught to follow certain rules.
Use precise language. Wear your assigned clothing. Take your morning medication.
These rules essentially instill correct manners into all the citizens, causing their interactions to be very polite and friendly, creating a similar inviting community vibe to that of The Lottery. However, the characters are greatly contrasted by their actions, changing the mood very quickly. The neighbor, Miss Delacroix, who is jovially conversing with Miss Hutchinson in The Lottery, is quickly to turn on her neighbor when the ticket reveals a black dot. As soon as Jonas challenges the authority of society, people are quick to hunt him down and kill all his friends involved.
I expect you to understand, but you must know that Jonas has become dangerous. He must be stopped. He must not get beyond the triangle of rocks.
The disparity between initial moods and characters' actions highlights the superficiality of conformity and his author commentary on the absurdness of conformity being viewed as a successful ideal. The two works differ in terms of conflict. Miss Hutchinson in The Lottery is only against her town because she is the one whose life is in danger. Her friends and family continue to be fully in support of it, raising questions about the morality of stoning and how detrimental conformity is. The townspeople disregard compassion and friendships in order to follow tradition and to follow in the footsteps of their peers. They are brainwashed by this tradition, while Jonas, in The Giver, is fighting against society for the good of everyone. Jonas clearly sees the flaws in the system in which he lives and is trying to fix it for everyone. The fact that he is so young and working against the rules criticizes the work of his society because someone so young can see through it. Overall, the two different mediums provide two different effects. Through the vibrant imagery of non-conformed and unique lives, The Giver allows viewers to appreciate life, the ability to be themselves and freedom. It highlights the most desirable aspects of humanity and critiques the ideal of total conformity as society's only key to contentment. The Lottery forces viewers to reflect, questioning whether things are done for a purpose or simply to fit in with others. While it is believed that the lottery is done as a kind of sacrifice to keep bountiful crop yields, the community blindly follows along, simply saying to follow tradition as they always have. Overall, the message of both is about the negative impacts of conformity on society. While it may be easier to manage or reduce some conflict, conformity ultimately is not a positive ideal. While both pieces show how conformity strips away individualism, creates a fear of change, and can bring out the worst in people.